Welcome to the Risk from Power Lines, How to Sniff the G3 in Prime Data and Detect the Interfere Attack. We are currently in South Seas IJ with Lei G. Before we begin, a few notes. Stop by the business hall located in Bayside AB during the day and for the welcome reception from 5:30 to 19. That's already over. The Black Hat Arsenal is in on the Palm Foyer on level 3, and join us for the Pony Awards at 6:30 in Mandalay Bay, BCD. And please put your phones on vibrate. And without further ado.
Excuse me, I'm very so sorry. My presentation pointed some issue, so it is not the final version, but it's okay. We can perceive it. I'm Lei from China. I'm the senior advisor for the Qihu 360 Unicom team. I'm also the marketing manager for the Cypress Semiconductor Corporation in the North China. Okay. It's an extract. In my topic, I will talk about how to modulation the communication, PLC communication date, and how to identify the system is using. Okay. How to identify the system is using which kind of standard, is using the prime or is using the G3, and how to identify the interference attack. So what is PLC? As you all know, the power line can transmit electronic power, but it also can transmit communication date. The PLC is a generation technology which uses power line as a media to do the data communication. If we use, the power line is the most widely used electric system in worldwide. So if we use power line system to transmit the data, it will greatly reduce the cost of construct the communication network. So as this reason, many people and many facilities invested in the PLC technology. According to the bandwidth, the PLC is classified into the narrowband PLC and the wideband PLC. For the wideband PLC, it uses DMT modulation. The communication data rate can reach to 100 million PPS. But the communication distance is very short, so it is used for the indoor internet access. For the narrowband PLC, it uses FSK or OFDM modulation. The data rate will less than 100 kilo BPS, but the communication distance is longer, and it also can transfer across the transformer. So it's used for the power line AMR system, the city facility system. So for my topic, I will focus on the narrowband PLC. Okay. There are many, for the narrowband PLC, there are many international standards, and the G3 and the Prime are the most two important standards. The France implement the G3 standard, and Spain designed the Prime. And the China PLC AMR system is based on the G3. And the G3 and Prime will cover about more than 60% application. And both the G3 and the Prime standard use OFDM modulation. So next I will talk about how to identify the G3 and the primes and that. I will use mathematical tools about it's a power spectrum estimation. You know the carrier band for the G3 and the prime is different, so use the power spectrum estimation, we can identify which carrier band. Yeah, as you know, the communication process is a typical random process, so it is impossible to predict the exact signal in next time, and the best method to evaluate the random process is average. Yeah, it's a statistical average, and the autocorrelation is the perfect parameter to indicate the statistical average in the time domain. And after do the Fourier transform and to the autocorrelation sequence, and it is a power spectrum destination. Yeah. This is a typical OFDM spectrum distribution. So how to identify the G3 and prime? I will divide into 3 steps. Step 1, I will get the power spectrum of the communication signal. For step 2, I will calculate the ideal the OFDM signal. And for the step 3, I will match the 2 signals. If the similar degree is to a certain degree, we can believe the system can meet a certain standard. Okay, we can define the communication signal is xt. After sample, it's SAT. We can see the power spectrum. Power spectrum is the Fourier transform of the autocorrelation. Okay. We can see it requires unlimited sequence. Yeah, but it's impossible. So we pass so we cut the record. It means we pass the record to a recalculator window. Yeah. We know the infinite length record is the most important limitation for the quality of the power spectrum estimation. The longer data record, the better we can approach to the real power spectrum. But as some the memory size reason and the processor complexity reason, we can use a longer record. So our goal is to use as short data record to abstract the spectrum character, and the character must meet our application, must meet the resolution, and meet the accuracy. Yeah. And we can see the expect of the bias estimation of the power spectrum is equal to the power spectrum modulation WB divided to 2 pi, and WB is DITFT of the backlit window. After calculation, the resolution of the frequency is 0.89 multiplied 2 pi and divided into n. And for the calibrant, the prime is 42 kHz to 89 Hz, and the calibrant for the G3 is 36 kHz to the 91 kHz, and we need to get some frequency margin. Consider the Nyquist ceremony, and so we define the frequency resolution is 0.5 kHz. After I can get n max more than 712, because we need to do the FFT, so we define n is 1024. The other thing we need to consider the SNR. For the system, the mainly noises contributed by the common frequency noisy, the switch noisy, and the wet noisy. And the common frequency noisy is come from the power line system. It is about 40 or 60 Hz. And the switch noise is from the switch power supplying, and the white noise is a receiver base noise. So we need to do the signal to pass the band pass filter to remove the outband noise, and then calculate the base noise, okay? Base noise, which will include the switch noise and the wet noise. And then after getting the signal power spectrum, we need to take away the noisy power spectrum. And the second step, we need to get the ideal OFDM power spectrum. The power spectrum of OFDM is equal to the sum of the subcarrier band power spectrum. The next two formula is tell us how to calculate the ideal OFDM power spectrum. The third step, we need to match the two signal. I will use the cross correlation. The cross correlation is a parameter to indicate the similar degree for two signals. If one signal or both the signals are scaled, and the cross correlation sequence will scale accordingly, but the scale is not important. The shape is important. So we need to get a unilized standard to indicate the similar degree. So we get a normalized value, which is -1 to 1. If the cross correlation is equal to 1, it means it's related complete. If it is -1, it means minus related. If this is equal to 0, it means these two signals not similar completely. We only consider the two power spectrum at the same frequency point, so we only need to calculate 0 x y 0. It means there's no frequency shift yet. So after calculate, if the 0 x y 0 is more than 0.9, it means the two signals match together, and we can define the signal can meet which kind of requirement, which kind of standard. Okay, it is next we will talk about the modulation and demodulation. This is structure of the modulation and demodulation. Yeah. ST is a modulation signal, and after demodulation, we can know the DM is baseband multiplies the frequency, carrier frequency. So we can know the Dn is the FDT of the SRK, because SRK is easy to get, so the Dn is easy to get. Finally, I will talk about how to identify the interference attack. The interference attack is a kind of blocking service attack. As the interference reason, and the node cannot respond to the service. The service includes the routing, the data repeating, and peer-to-peer communication. For the common interference method, attack method, it will transmit the continuous signal in the communication channel, and it is easy to identify it because we have already get the power spectrum, and so we can identify the interference signal is in the carrier band or over the carrier band. Yeah. Some senior method, attack method, the detector will transmit the random data package. It is a little difficult, and we need to divide the data record into several pieces, and each pieces will the length of each pieces will several times of the symbols. Yeah, so we can get each power spectrum for each pieces. So each pieces spectrum will indicate some random random interference power spectrum, so we can identify it. But it also need to co-work with the MAC layer, because the communication includes a package, includes the preamble symbol, word, and payload, and the checksum. It also need to work with the MAC layer. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Any questions?